goal, wasn't it a goal? Yes, it was a goal.
Yeah, we thought it was. I don't think there's too much doubt about that. It's just the way it was given, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is something that we've seen all too often down at the F-Ball Community Stadium this season, is that we've seen linesmen, assistant referees pressured at times and change their decision.
Yes.
Now, on that occasion, no, it was a goal, and that's fair play. But it's a worrying trend for me when you get that sort of influence, and there's been a lot of talk about the quality of officialdom at this level, but I think there's a shortage of people wanting to pull on the black shirt, isn't there?
I think it definitely is. Mr. Hinton today, quite a young referee. We saw him in close up. I don't know his age, but I would say he was late.
Compared to us, his young mate.
Most people. He was late 20s, I would say. Quite a young referee, perhaps on his way up. Experienced assistant by the looks of it, but quite a young referee. And the right decision was made in the end, and that's the main thing, I suppose. But it's just the way it was made.
There just seems, and obviously I'll be interested in seeing Terry's footage later, because I want to see how long it took for the signal to be given for the goal, because that was the issue. Leek had cleared the lines, they carried on.
It's 3 or 4 seconds, definitely, because as you say, Leek had got the ball out of the penalty area, and then I think the Runcorn players were shouting. They didn't surround the assistant at all. They didn't run over to him, but they were pointing at him, and they brought the referee's attention to him. After a quick consultation between the two, a goal was given.
And again, you saw a lot of the elite players having a go at the linesman on the way back up, because they were saying, hang on, you didn't give it. You can almost see what they were saying. Yeah. You did not give that. We carried on. You didn't give it, but you've given it now. Yeah. How come you've changed your mind? And it's that,
he might have just been thinking about it. But I mean, he should really. If he sees it go over the line, he should flag.
If his instinct is he's crossed the line, he signals straight
like the
away.
One last week in the Colm game, he signalled straight away that he thought it had gone over the line. So.
And we said he's with us. Did he go over the line last week? Was he?
Yes, it did. What happened? The trajectory of the ball, as it bounced, it bounced back into play into the keeper's hands. So it came off more or less a 45-degree angle.
Right. So there you go. But again, we're blessed because with retrospect we can go back and we can look at these things, can't we?
We can.
And Terry's bought some really editing software.
It's our own version of VAR.
It's our own version of VAR, and we've seen it now, so we're happy about that. Right, okay, another match taking place.
Moorlands 2. The attendance was 506. Thank you very much for your support. The next home game is the 17th of December against Liverpool. Meantime, next Saturday we are away at Preston Cable, and on Tuesday the 13th we are away again at Skelmersdale. Hope to see you there. Thank you for coming.
We'll give you those scores. Some interesting scores there actually, as Neil joins us in the commentary position. I'll just hand him his headset on this cold winter's afternoon, and we'll just a 2-0 defeat, which is something we don't say very often at this stadium. It's been a long unbeaten run. It's come to an end today. Give us your assessment of the game, Neil.
Well, we were a team of 2 halves certainly today. Indecisive in the first half, a lot more positive in the second half, without really troubling them. They had defenders that wanted to defend. I hadn't. If I got there centre halves, I think we'd have won the game. Well, we wouldn't have lost the game today. So they're very effective, very workmanlike, do the jobs all over the park, and whether they deserve to win the game, probably so, but not by a lot. I thought we were fine in the second half, and showed a belief that we didn't in the first half.
We were saying in commentary that you had a lot of possession in the first half, and there was a lot of balls hit forward and more hope than expectation. But when the goal went in, which was a controversial goal again, but when the goal went in, there was nothing between the two sides.
No, there wasn't. I thought we'd started the better. But our balls into the box weren't good enough, they were too firm. Rob, I think it was Rob and Danny, could have done better with one scenario. Grice should have done a lot better with his opportunity. It was a real wasteful and poor decision from him. Then they had a good spell, I thought, and got on top. And we were giving their, I can't understand it, you know, the 2 of the best forwards in the league. And if you look at the lead up to the goal, they were both free. Neither our centre halves were marking them in the build-up. And I said to them at half time, you can't give good players time and space and the freedom of a park. Else, that's why they score the goals that they do. So that was a big concern, but they did better, the centre halves in the second half against their 2 strikers. Yeah, I thought we had a real good go in the second half without our forward players being clinical. You know, and their defenders were doing everything to keep the ball out the net, which is what you want of it.
I thought Tom Carr made a difference when he came.
He did. You're right.
He did definitely energise the front line.
Yeah, he come on and made some good decisions. Looked, as you say, looked a threat and ran at them. Sometimes he doesn't always make the right decision, but that's youth. But he certainly helped the team when he came on today, Ian.
Let's go back to that controversial first goal, then, because we've seen it a few times down here now, and it's happening a little bit more too often for my liking, which is the Danny made a double save. The suggestion is the ball was over the line and he scooped it back out, but there seemed to be an age before the linesman flagged that it was a goal. Leek had cleared their lines.
Yeah, listen, it was similar to last week, weren't it? And there's no complaints from me. We got the rub of the ball last week, which we didn't this week. Our defenders were adamant that the ball didn't cross the line. Listen, the referee and the linesman say it does. That's all that counts.
Well, there seems to be a reluctance. If you think that the ball's crossed the line, you flag immediately, don't you? You make that decision. It's gone in.
You've got to be 100%. You can't guess at those things. That's why goal line technology was brought in the top leagues. A goal's a goal. You can't wipe out goals. That's why we did need technology for that. But if we haven't got it, then the officials have got to be 100% that ball's crossed the line. I mean, we were all watching the World Cup, and was it the Korea goal that Luke, it was over the line.
The Japan goal, the ball's
Japan
hanging
was
over the line.
over the line.
I mean, Neil, you've been in this game a lot longer than most of us out there, and you know, as an official, you give what you see, and if you see the bit of the ball that touches the surface, you can only go by that. You can't go back on the curvature of the ball because it doesn't attract your eye for a start off. And I just thought that was a bit similar today from a linesman that was down here, not tight to the touchline. How he can adjust that cross the line, that worries me a little bit. But hey, you know, you, like you say, it rubbed off for you last week, it did this week. So where do you think then, Neil, the improvement needs to be going into Prescott next week?
Well, it's, I say an improvement, and it's the mentality. You know, the indecision that we showed. I spoke about this before the game. Because I'd asked them to get the ball forward a little bit earlier than we normally do, particularly because Runcorn start very well. They press and they chase and they run, and I wanted to try and avoid the press and try and get the ball in their half, play our football in their half, see if we could find space in behind them. So I said, don't be indecisive. If you're going to go long, go long. If you're going to play short, but don't get caught in two minds. And I thought we did. Second half we didn't. Played much better. We're far more decisive, I keep using the word, without being clinical enough. So the centre halves have got to do better. You know, our defensive record is reasonably good. But like I said to you, you can't allow good players time and space. So they've got to do better in that respect. And even with the second goal, midfield player ran forward, and one of our centre halves didn't spot the danger quickly enough. The ball ends up in the back of our net. So against the better teams, you've got to defend better. You can get away with it against poorer teams, but those that are up there, you've got to be spot on.
Give us your assessment of Tom Thorley's start to his career at Leek Town, because I mean obviously at half time you made the decision to pull him more in the field. He started on the left and Rob went out on the left. And but what do you think Tom's going to bring to the team? Well,
I'm hoping that he's going to get us playing, that he's also going to contribute with assists and the odd goal. He's settling into a role that he hasn't found familiar. It's not his ideal position, but look, if he wants to play in the team and get in the team and play every week, then sometimes we have to play slightly different, but he's got to do a little bit more than he is doing at the moment. I'm sure he knows that.
Yeah, of course he does. He's been around the block a bit, hasn't he? So it's going to be a tough month for you in a lot of ways, isn't it?
Without a doubt. Going to Prescott and Skelmersdale is no easy ride. We know that without looking too far ahead. We know playing Colne teams down there that it's difficult. So we've just got to improve a little bit all over the pitch. If we want to stay in that top 2 or 3, and I'm confident that they'll do that.
That's brilliant. Just will bring you up to date that Colne had Macclesfield 1-0. That Colne led, and it's Bakari's just scored for Macclesfield, so they 1-1 at the moment. So Colne, no pushover.
No, certainly we saw that last week.
Well, listen, thanks for joining us live on. It's been an early kick-off. Didn't really work out for us today, but you go again next week, and we'll be there right along with you.
Brilliant.
That's Neil Baker, just giving his thoughts on the game. I think the match is finished over at the Civil Line just before I crossed to it. So, Ian, what your assessment of what Neil said?
Yeah, I agree with that. I can understand a little bit now and why they were hitting those long balls forward towards Grice and Stevenson. He wanted to get the ball up there early, but I just don't think that quite worked out for them at all.
It didn't. But they go again, and you know, one thing we know, he'll get them. He'll get them up for next week. Right, it's full time in the game between Brixton and Bradford Park.